Okay, so the next thing you're going to need are your arms, and you're going to need bag A7. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to install the arms onto these pieces here. A7 just looks like it comes with just some standard screws, and then you're just going to screw the arms on. So you're going to take 2 arms and 2 M4x16s, and you are just going to screw them on. Actually, you know what, I'll start with the one that's facing me, it's probably easier, into this part here. And I believe since this is like a little ball swivel, we can just tighten them as tight as we can. Just going to go ahead and tighten them down. Woo! Things work really good. So I'm going to repeat that on all sides. Let's see if I can get a good camera angle again to do that. Just like that. Alright, we're almost there. I'm doing these 2 now. Okay. Almost done with the 6th arm. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is take your hot end, and then you're going to do the exact same thing and mount these 2 arms to them. Okay, just tighten those down nice and good. And we're going to do it to the other 2 sides. Alright, getting somewhere. I have a feeling these hot end screws are going to need some Loctite. Unless you really crank them down, which I'm not doing, I'm using the short side. Nice. Alright, we are centered. Next step. Alright guys, so the next step looks like we are going to need to add this bracket here with the bag A1, which is right here. So, and we also are going to need this guy, which is our spool holder. So let's move back up to the top of the printer. Okay, so we're going to need 2 screws to go into these first 2 holes where this little L cutout is. And then from underneath there, you're going to install this bracket like so, so that the hooks are facing out towards that, that corner there. You're going to use 2 of these nuts. And you're going to add them to the screws down here. Okay, so I'm going to finger snug them, and then I believe I can tighten them from the top. Oh, well. Sorry about that. So what I did is I ended up putting these 2 screws in with the nuts, and then I'm going to tighten them from the top. Okay, that's 1, 2. So now we're going to install this filament holder here. I think, yeah, we go this way with it. Okay, so we're going to put these 2 M5x15s, we're going to put those through the top, and nuts on the bottom. Push that all the way forward. I'm going to tighten this beast. Okay, that's that. Next step. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece here, which is your Titan extruder. No, I'm going to run out of footage. I have 4 minutes left. I have to dump my SD card here, so this might take a while. Hopefully it won't take too long. Alright, we're back. Alright, so dump took about 10 or so minutes, maybe 15, I'm not really sure. But anyway, we're going to install this extruder. So what it asks you to do, where is the manual here, is to mount it 80 millimeters above the little bowden tube. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so up top, let's see if I can get them in view. Right, yeah, right here, you got these belt loops. Okay, and that's where you're gonna install the actual belts that are on your flying extruder. I'm going to have the wiring go to the right, and then I'm going to measure out 80 millimeters. I'm gonna need some zip ties for this. Grab some of those out of the bag that is included. These back up. Okay, so I have my calipers here set to 80 millimeters. I'm trying to figure out how to do this here. Maybe about that high. So I'm just kind of guesstimate this. Okay, so that's one side done. I'm doing this next side over. Oops, I'll just lower this here. So I'm doing this next side here. It's about right. Ooh, so looks like we hit pretty much dead on to 80 millimeters. I guess we just tighten that like that. Okay, so one thing I gotta do is adjust this end stop up top here, because one of them came out a little bit crooked. Okay, so got that installed on there. So now what we're gonna do is move on to bag A3, which is this guy, and then we're going to install the board. So we're going to take this guy here, and we're actually going to unbox him. Holy jeez. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the top of the board now. I mean, top of the printer now. We're going to go to the side. We're going to put the board on here. 4 screws that hold the board, which is right here. Alright, so we're finally here at the top, and we're going to need these 4 standoffs, and we're going to have to put them through the board. These capacitors are going to go forward. What we're going to do first is the screws through the maker base, and then we're going to install the standoffs to those screws. Okay, so we're just going to do that to all 4. My camera angles are getting suckier. I'm starting to lose focus because I'm trying to get the build going. And after having a couple mistakes and my SD card get full, it's kind of discouraging a tiny bit. So, okay, so now we're going to put these through the 4 holes, like so. Okay, and then we're going to add the 4 little nuts out of the bag to screw that on there. Okay, one more. Okay, so I gotta do some wire management here because the next step they ask is to put this box cover on top. But the thing is, I need to wire all this stuff where they're supposed to go. Like these are the limit switches. Okay, so I'm going to put those together through one side. Okay, that should work out. And then this other side here should be the hot end stuff coming through this side here. So I'm pulling the wires through the back. This stuff, fan, that needs to be zip tied. I want this to be zip tied. This guy here is to TH2. I'm going to do a bunch of wire management here. So all this stuff that came out the back here, that's gonna get its own zip tie. Okay, then zip tie. This here will get its own zip tie. What? These are gonna get covered, so I'm gonna use my own. These ones all go together. Zip ties are your friend. That looks good like that. All this stuff right here can get one. All nice and snug now. Okay, this is for, this could be for the BL Touch, but we are going to loop it out of here through the back just cause. Okay, add one more to this final loom back here. That way when it opens and closes, looks nice. Okay, so now we're here and we need to add these brackets to the control box. So we'll mount them to the actual printer first. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see this, but I'm mounting here. Okay, so we got one hinge down. Okay, now we're going to attach this hinge to these two pieces here. So one thing that I'm not doing just yet is I'm not going to tighten this all the way down because you have to kind of align it with the USB in the front, so that way it sorry guys, my hands are in the way, but I'm just attaching these screws here to the hinges. Nice. Okay, and now we can tighten these hinges down here on the actual box. Cool. So I'm assuming these two go in here. These two sections of the wire are just going to go through the hot end, I believe. We'll go towards the hot end. So we're just going to put that in like that, and hopefully maybe squeeze some of this back in the top because that's going to bug me. And these two here are meant to lock this box on, but I'm not going to do that yet because I'm not done wiring. So the next step is to put on the power supply and little front LCD. So let's go ahead and get that power supply, and then we're going to rotate this piece here. Holy Jeebus. Okay, so this guy's huge. Okay, so we need the bag A4. This looks like it's our last bag, so we're getting really close here. Let's go ahead and take this piece out of there too. So A4 literally just has the 4 screws that you need to your power supply. What you're doing is you're going to screw through the bottom 4 screw holes like this, okay? So now we're adding the last 2 bolts, and then that part of the build will be done. Just did that part of the build. The next step is to take your LCD screen here and actually hang it on the printer. So we're going to rotate this again. If you have a Lazy Susan, I think that's one of the highest recommended things on this build. Okay, so this is just going to hang like so. It's pretty cool. And then, so when you do this ribbon cable section of your build, it says to connect it to the aux 1 port of this here. So we're gonna look for that. Okay, so the aux 1 port side. So let me undo this tie. I'm gonna run it through the back of this into control box, go around the wires, and then I'm going to plug it into aux 1 right here. Boom. So that should be done. These LEDs here, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with them. I think I'm gonna hide one under here, face it towards the front. I have no clue. I'm just gonna kind of tuck them down there, close this again. Okay, let's move on. So the next one is electrical wiring. Oh, thank God. We are done building, guys.